Eddie Hearn, all week it was labelled a very, very dangerous assignment, and that old cliche, one punch changes it all. Heavyweight boxing, your reaction?
Can't quite believe it, to be honest with you. I mean, when the punch landed, I felt like I was in some dream. You know, you saw the fight was over, virtually. You know, Povetkin started well, Dillian Whyte, you know, I felt that he was just measuring up. He had a great finish to the round before when he knocked Povetkin down. And then obviously in the round that he knocked Povetkin down, 2 heavy knockdowns, you know, I think I felt and a lot of people felt that it was over. But this is the drama of the sport we love. This is the drama of heavyweight boxing. One punch can change everything. And tonight, one punch just completely changed the fight. You know, Dillian Whyte in total control of the fight. Really felt confident that he was about to end the fight. Did he get complacent? Was it just great work from Alexander Povetkin? I was speaking to Tony Bellew about that uppercut that sometimes people feel Dillian Whyte might be susceptible to. He slipped inside, beautiful left uppercut, and unbelievable. I mean, it is a shock. You know, he wasn't that much of an outsider, but we knew how good Alexander Povetkin was. We knew how dangerous he was, but Dillian Whyte had that fight, you know, virtually in the bag. But they're always dangerous, these top-class elite heavyweights. And, you know, it was just a thrilling, I mean, thrilling knockout on a thrilling night. I'm pretty much lost for words, to be honest with you. I'm walking around here, speaking to people, and they're the same.
Shock.
You know.
Where are we contractually?
We have a rematch clause, and, you know, the first thing Dillian said when he came out was, you know, get me that rematch, get me that rematch. It was a heavy knockdown. You know, he's going to have to take his rest. Povetkin is mandatory now, but he won't be called. The only person that was going to get called to negotiate the winner of Fury Wilder was Dillian Whyte. So we will exercise that rematch clause. We will look to make that before the end of the year. And listen, it's a huge fight, but it's a very dangerous fight now because obviously back-to-back defeats for Dillian Whyte throws a different shade on it. But I know that he'll come back from this. You know, you have to understand the kind of individual Dillian Whyte is. He didn't come up with any big amateur record. He didn't get a big deal from a promoter early on. He fought on small hall shows. He paid his own purse. He ground his way to #1 in the world, and he waited 1,000 days. So it's crippling for him to lose that position here tonight. But he will be back. He will rematch Alexander Povetkin, and I believe he can beat him in the rematch and bring his #1 position back to life. So, you know, tonight, this is the ups and downs of boxing. It's why we love this sport so much. It's the best sport in the world. It's the most dramatic sport in the world. We won't sleep. No one here, probably no one watching at home, will sleep tonight. And this is what this sport gives us. And sometimes it's brutal because you see people that, you know, you admire, you care about, like Dillian Whyte, you know, lose his position like that, get knocked out like that. But this is boxing, this is life, this is high-level sport. You win and you lose, he has to regroup, come again. I know he has something special inside that he will come back from this. And he has to do a job in what will be a very, very big rematch.
We know Anthony Joshua is obviously here as part of our team tonight, and that heavyweight puzzle, does this result make Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury any more of a possibility?
Well, I think, you know, one of the stumbling blocks to making that fight early in 2021 was the mandatory of Dillian Whyte. So we know that Alexander Povetkin won't be called as that immediate mandatory, even though he sits at #1 position. So I wanted Dillian Whyte to get that opportunity, and I felt like a good win would secure him that, and I he deserved that. But he did lose, and, you know, he has to come back and rematch and try to beat Alexander Povetkin. So, you know, AJ's over there, and I know what he wants to do. He wants to become undisputed. But right now, you know, our thoughts are with Dillian Whyte and get him back in the saddle to come back and try and regain that #1 position. I believe that the WBC will, if he can beat Povetkin in the rematch, he will go back to the mandatory spot. So that will slow the process down. For now, I think those other heavyweights, whilst AJ is, our plans are obviously working with him as well. You know, right now it's getting over the shock of the defeat to Dillian Whyte, or he's okay, making sure that he can bounce back from that, give him the support, and build him up for a rematch. You know, he put a lot of work into this. You know, he was out in Portugal for 4 or 5 months. He put everything in. He came in the shape of his life, and he was finding a way through the rounds to take control of the fight, and it looked like it was over. And one shot